Everything the movies told you about dying in space is a lie. You wouldn't explode in a shower of blood. You wouldn't freeze into a statue in an instant. The truth is quieter, slower, and honestly, so much worse. In the next few minutes, you'll find out exactly what happens to your body, second by second, the moment you're thrown into the vacuum of space with no suit. The one instinct that would kill you faster than anything else. Why you wouldn't freeze, even though every film swears you would. And the real people this has actually happened to, including one man who lived to describe the moment his own spit started to boil. Let's open the airlock. First, you have to understand the one thing keeping you alive right now that you never think about: pressure. Down here, the atmosphere presses in on every inch of you, about 15 pounds on every square inch of skin, and your body pushes back with exactly the same force. You live your whole life inside a perfect, invisible balance, and you never feel it because it never stops. Space is the absence of that. No air, no pressure pushing back, just nothing. In every direction. Forever. And here's what Hollywood gets completely wrong. Space isn't a monster that tears you apart. It's an emptiness that simply takes. It takes your air, your pressure, your warmth, your consciousness, one calm step after another, and your body has almost no time to argue. A spacesuit was never armor. It's a tiny piece of Earth wrapped around a person, a portable atmosphere, so they can pretend for a while that the void isn't there. Take it away, and the pretending ends fast. So let's take it away. Here's the very first thing that happens, and it's instant. The air in your lungs is at normal pressure. The space around you is at zero. So the moment you're exposed, that air isn't going to politely stay put. It's violently pulled out of you. Your lungs empty in under a second. Now your body does something that feels completely logical and is the single fastest way to die out here. It tells you to hold your breath. Every instinct you have screams, "Keep the air in." Do not. If you clamp down and trap that air, the gas in your lungs, with nothing pressing back from outside, expands explosively and tears the delicate tissue apart from the inside. It's the same thing that kills scuba divers who shoot to the surface too fast, only far more extreme. Holding your breath would rupture your lungs in seconds. So the rule every astronaut is trained on is the exact opposite of your instinct. You breathe out. You give the air to the void because the alternative is so much worse. With the air gone, the emptiness comes for your fluids next. And this is where it gets strange. Water boils when the pressure around it drops low enough. It's why water boils at a lower temperature on a mountaintop than at sea level. Now drop the pressure all the way to zero, and suddenly water boils at body temperature. The water that's inside you. The saliva on your tongue, the moisture in your eyes, the fluid just under your skin. All of it starts to bubble and turn to vapor. Not because it's hot, because there's nothing left to hold it down. Scientists call this ebullition. As that vapor builds, your body swells. You'd puff outward, maybe to nearly twice your size. And here the movies lie again. You don't burst. You don't pop like an overfilled balloon. Human skin is far tougher and stretchier than people think, strong enough to hold you together through all of it. And your blood, the thing films love to show boiling away, mostly doesn't. Your vessels and your heart keep it sealed under their own pressure, so it stays liquid even while the moisture on the surface of you fizzes. So you're not exploding, and you're not freezing. The clock that actually matters is a different one. How long you stay awake. The answer is brutal. About 10 to 15 seconds. That's your entire window of useful consciousness. The reason is simple and grim. When the air leaves your lungs, fresh oxygen stops coming in. But there's still a little oxygen riding in the blood already on its way to your brain. Your heart keeps pumping, that last bit arrives, and it holds you conscious for those few seconds. Then it runs out, and you black out. Without rescue, your body shuts down within a minute or two. Which means the cruelest detail of all is this. For those first 15 seconds, you would be fully awake, fully aware, watching it happen. Quick thing, if "you'd be awake for it" just made your skin crawl, that's exactly the kind of fact this channel exists for. We take the questions that sound simple and follow them down to the part that actually unsettles you. If that's your thing, subscribe, and the next one will find you. Now back to the freezing, because everyone gets this one wrong. You've seen it 100 times. A body drifts into space and frosts over in seconds, frozen solid. It's nonsense. Here's why. To lose heat, your body normally relies on the air and surfaces around it carrying that warmth away. In a vacuum, there's nothing there to carry it. No air, no water, nothing touching you. The only way you can shed heat at all is by slowly radiating it out as invisible light, and that is painfully slow. So you wouldn't freeze. In the first moments, you might even struggle to cool down at all. You'd suffocate to death long, long before the cold became the thing that killed you. And if you were drifting in direct sunlight, with no atmosphere to filter it, the opposite problem appears. The raw, ultraviolet radiation would give you a savage sunburn, fast. Space can starve you of air and burn you at the same time. Freezing barely makes the list. And we know all of this for a reason that's a little chilling. It has happened to real people. In 1966, a NASA engineer named Jim LeBlanc was testing a spacesuit inside a giant vacuum chamber when the hose feeding him pressurized air came loose. The pressure crashed. He later said the last thing he felt was the saliva on his tongue beginning to boil, right before he passed out. He lost consciousness in about 14 seconds. His team repressurized the chamber in roughly 30, and he woke up, unharmed. No lasting damage. He survived the vacuum. Others weren't as lucky. In 1971, 3 Soviet cosmonauts were returning to Earth when a valve on their capsule opened too early and let their air bleed out into space. They weren't wearing pressure suits. By the time the capsule touched down, all 3 were gone. To this day, they remain the only humans known to have died in the vacuum of space. The difference between LeBlanc and those cosmonauts wasn't toughness or willpower. It was time. Seconds. Get a body back into pressure within about a minute and a half and it can survive. Miss that window and nothing on Earth can bring it back. So here's what space really does to you. It doesn't explode you. It doesn't flash freeze you. It does something far more unsettling. It calmly, silently takes everything you need to live, the air, the pressure, the oxygen in your blood, one quiet step at a time, while you stay awake just long enough to notice. No blood, no spectacle, no sound at all, just a body, swelling under an open sky full of stars, running out of the one thing it could never make for itself. That's the real horror of the void. It was never trying to kill you. It's just empty. And empty, it turns out, is more than enough. The universe doesn't need a weapon. It just needs you to step outside.